Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Molechap here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. This is Shark versus Xellos. As you can see on the screen right there, Xellos on the left, Shark on the right. I'm going to skip around a little bit on this VOD. This is the game number 2 of the second series of the round 1 Proleague playoffs from 2006. It's a bit of a mouthful, and the reason I'm stopping is because I want to go back and I want to show you guys this real quick. This is before the game, and this is a stat that they put up for this map before the game actually started. And look at the TVZ on this map, ladies and gentlemen. 22 and 10. More than 2/3 of the TVZs have been won by Terrans on this map. It's hugely Terran favored. And I just wanted to point that out before we got into the game. I'm not even exactly sure off the top of my head why that is. If we look at the map, this is, by the way, this is Pioneer Period is the name of the map, which must have been retired after this season because I never heard of it. But I'm like, just looking at it, I'm like, why is this so Terran favored? I'm not sure. There's like neutral temples around blocking off extra expansions and stuff. But I mean, is it just because it's so hard for Azur to get a third? Is that why or something? But like, this was 2006 where it was a lot of oftentimes 1 base versus 2 base or something. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that beforehand. We're gonna get into the game here though real quick and just find out how it goes. But just keep in mind that you know, it's a very, very Terran favored map. Anyway, let's get back into it. Xellos versus Shark. Shark having just won the last and deciding game, what ended up being the deciding game of the previous series of MBC game versus KTF, beating Good Friend, who is a very, very solid Terran player. And I would say that actually in 2006, I think Xellos might be a little bit lower than Good Friend's level. Xellos is obviously more legendary, and I think just I would say, I hate using the word talent, but I'll just use it in this case, probably a more talented player in general. But you know, his heyday was a few years prior, you know, and anyway, he's still a contender here, but I feel like Good Friend might be a little bit of an edge, and Shark beat Good Friend, so I think there's a good chance here. But again, map favored 2-1 in terms of Terran, in favor of Terran. So we'll see how this goes. I'm really curious to see if we see any map elements that we can kind of let us know. I'd really love to hear someone who knows what they're talking about. Tell me why this is, tell me why this map is just imbalanced. Sorry. I've got, I've got post-90s stress disorder, post-90s boy band syndrome, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, we got 2 barracks coming down here for Xellos, and the Overlord spots it. It's gonna go ahead and escape by the skin of its little whatever the Overlords have in their mouth. If they have mouths, do Overlords have mouths? They might not have mouths, but they do have probably some sort of an orifice that they pull up units into. So but the skin of the tendrils of its orifice, it's gonna go ahead and escape there. I mean, it actually wasn't that close at all, but I mean, it kind of like, I don't think it's got spotted is the thing. And oh, okay, so not Saint, sorry, Shark. Saint's in the next game, actually. He's part of the 2v2 squad. I was thinking of the Christmas commentary, which had Saint in it as well. Anyway, Shark is, this is a, sorry, Shark sending out that drone. I was kind of trying to figure out like what that drone was for. Is that for an expansion? But he doesn't appear to be building an expansion. Is this some sort of crazy 1-base rush? Or is he just, he's mining gas right now, so he's going for the speed upgrade. And, you know, I mean, this could be a very quick game. I mean, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same map, actually, that we had Shark rush. Is this actually, I'm going to check right now. This is the same map. This is the same map that Shark beat Good Friend on, actually. And it's because he kind of did a rush of Zerglings and caught Good Friend off guard and then got a bunch of stuff in his base. And it wasn't a 1-base rush, though. So this is kind of interesting. Okay, now we do have a hatchery down for Shark now in the expansion. It just was hard to see because there's so few pixels on these old VODs right now. But look at this. Actually, Xellos, instead of waiting and going for Academy and going for a push with, you know, several Marines and the 2 medics, he's actually just sending a couple SCVs out to buffer and, you know, get some extra hit points instead of from healing, but instead of by having SCVs instead. He's actually now falling back, so putting some pressure on, decided to come back here, and he is actually, okay, he does not have almost any SCVs. I'm now realizing that he actually had built those barracks very, very early, and basically this reaction by Shark is seeing, okay, he got those early barracks, he scouted with his Overlord very quickly. Luckily he went the right direction. Luckily he had the spawn point where his Overlord was scouting the correct direction, and he got very early, pretty early Zerglings, I should say, and speed in order to be able to deal with this. He's gonna go for a run by. Oh no, is Xellos gonna lose to early Lings as well? It looks like a couple Lings are gonna run in for a scout. He's actually gonna escape with the rest, which is a smart move, I think. And look at this. Oh my gosh, Xellos, he's going for all in, ladies and gentlemen. He's brought several SCVs, and he didn't have very many SCVs to begin with, but in the meantime, Shark has brought his Zerglings around the back to his counterattack. He's gonna go into supply. Look, there's only like 5 SCVs mining right now, and he knows the danger here. Xellos is forced to fall all the way back into his base. He went for a rush, and instead it's a rush defense. He's being forced to fall all the way back to try and deal with these dozen Zerglings in his base, and it looks like they are going to get a little bit of kills, but they are going to be completely obliterated. So Shark losing all of these Zerglings, and that is a huge blow. But what he did is he delayed this push. Right now, those Marines would have been already in his natural, killing everything if he hadn't slowed that down. He's sending out another group of Lings, and he's trying to do what he tried to do before. He was trying to catch those Marines kind of out in the open and get us around on them while they're strung out in a line, and instead went for the run by, and then the Marines kind of collapsed down in a group, but he didn't really have a chance to engage the Marines in the way he wanted to. Okay, here we go. He's gonna try and go for a surround. He's got a bunch of Zerglings out in the back. He's coming in from Zerglings from his main, Zerglings from outside of natural as well, and they're gonna get us around on all the Marines, and they are not clumped above them. There's no medics, no fire bats, and nothing is going to stop the rest of these Lings from going all the way back towards his base and killing him off. One Marine just kind of passing by that was rallied to the front, but there's nothing. He's done 2 barracks with so few SCVs. He's not going to have enough here, and this is deja vu one more time, ladies and gentlemen, as this is exactly what the end of the game looked like with Good Friend, with Zerglings streaming into his base and just obliterating everything. And maybe I'm thinking of the Jelizer game, which was also a similar situation with Lings in his base. But I'm maybe getting those games mixed up from, you know, a week or 2 ago. But, oh no, he's actually going to power. He actually kills the command center. And there's the GG. Oh man, instead of the BM, or not BM, but instead of the Manor command center lift, he just lets his command center die. And Shark, he almost can't believe it. He's like, wait, what? I won? Oh, I better go celebrate. Hey, how's it going, team? Let me give some high 10s to y'all. Wow, and Xellos did not look happy about that at all. The perfect Terran, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's what Xellos' nickname was. Going down to just a nice, beautiful response to his rush. And man, if their spawns had been different, if he hadn't sent his Overlord and perfectly scouted those early barracks. In fact, let's just go. I want to go back real quick and actually just double check again where. Because I didn't really catch the timing of those barracks the first time. So let's check it again real quick if we can. So here's that Overlord coming in here. And again, imagine if Xellos is up at the top right instead. This Overlord does not scout this. And instead... So there's the first barracks, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 SCVs. So yeah, it was basically an double 8 barracks. Double barracks before supply depot, the old BBS, barracks supply. So this was a huge rush that was intended to catch Shark off guard and kill him before he could react. If he was getting a hatchery or something like that, he would be completely obliterated. But instead, the Overlord spots it, and does he actually see both barracks? I don't know if he does, actually. I don't know if he does see both barracks. Let's see if we can catch where this Overlord is when it turns. Just to get a little bit of a scout off. So he's coming in here. He's going to come right over the ridge. And let's see. So there's the barracks completing, and there's show the overlord. Okay, so there it is. So I don't know if he saw the other barracks. You know, it's over here on the side. It's kind of hard to tell if it was within range. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he did see it because he reacts very perfectly to this. Because he already got his pool down. He actually put his spawning pool down rather luckily before he scouted that. Now he's gonna get the gas. Would he have gotten the gas for speedlings if he hadn't seen that early barracks? Not sure. But either way, just a nice little scout there. He's gonna be able to react to it. And then the Ling Flood to deal with it. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. And you know, Xellos just didn't have much of an economy and just got his units cut out in the middle. I thought that Xellos was actually going to be able to win it theoretically after that first attack with the Lings failed. And you know, I wonder if maybe the right play would have been to not attack after that. Here's the run by. He does this run by and he basically doesn't, or is this the second attack? Sorry, this is the second attack. The first run by, Xellos comes back and defends and basically Shark doesn't get almost any damage done. He gets a couple SCVs and like a couple Marines, but otherwise this is just completely successfully defended, and he loses a dozen Lings for nothing. I wonder if Xellos might just, if it might have been the play to, yeah, I'm trying to count here. He lost like 1 ACV and like 3 or 4 Marines. Not very big losses. I wonder if Xellos just goes and puts his Marine ball in his choke point instead of pushing out again if he wins the long game, because right now Shark is on very little economy. Look at that. Shark actually has like 9 drones. And I mean, I guess that's a good reason to put pressure on your opponent. But it just doesn't end up working out for him. And we do see that he just gets surrounded and obliterated basically. Yeah, I mean, that's all she wrote. And he wasn't in a very good position either. Maybe if he'd been back behind the hatchery or something like that, had a better spot, could have held off longer, but that was just so many Lings. So many Lings. Anyway, very cool game, number 2. So that means that Hero is going to go up 2-0 over CJ Entis. Are they going to get another 4-0 to get into the grand finals of round 1? We'll see. The next match is going to be the 2v2 match. And instead of Saint and Bisu versus 2 players that I have no idea who they are, it's going to be Saint and Bisu versus Oversky and Much, who are very solid players. So that'll be fun to watch. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks very much for watching. GG.